Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we're talking about, can rapid weight loss lead to hormone imbalance? By the end of this video, we will dive into hormone imbalance and what that looks like. We'll talk about how hormones change with rapid weight loss. We'll talk about all the hormones that influence weight loss and gain as well. And I'll give you some tips at the end of the video wherein I'll help you approach weight loss at a good pace and one that is great for your hormones. All right, so let's talk about what hormones are, right? There's quite a bit that we'll talk about in this video, but hormones are key components to the functioning of your organs and your body internally, especially those that are in the sex hormone category. And for those, we're talking about your estrogens, your progesterones, as well as your testosterones. These are all extremely important to help to create balance in your system. Now listen, hormones are constantly on the rise or fall. They fluctuate throughout the day. They fluctuate from day to day. They fluctuate differently when you're in different periods of your life. So for instance, pre-pregnancy, postpartum, puberty years, menopausal years, your hormones change based on where you are and based on the conditions that you're undergoing. And so it is very important that we create balance. But how do you create balance when the system may be in flux all the time? Well, there are things that we can do, which we'll talk about in this video. But what I really want you to know right now is that hormones are key to how you feel, how you look, your mood, and everything in between. Now, research has been done when it comes to our hormones, but honestly, there's so much more research that needs to be done. What we do know, though, is that everything around us impacts our hormones. And by everything, I'm talking about the air that you're breathing. I'm talking about how that may geographically change depending on if you live somewhere with high altitudes versus somewhere that has more endocrine disruptors in the air. These are things that can affect how your hormones are internally. It's everything, including the foods that you're eating, the products that you're putting on your skin, from your wash that you use to take a bath to the perfumes that you may spray to smell good. We do so much in our lifestyle that impacts our hormones, and many of those we're unaware of because we're living life, we're making choices based on what we want and desire, but we do these things often not realizing that they are changing the way our hormones are internally, especially as females. It also means that the couch that you may be sitting on could be emitting things that could be affecting your hormones. It means that whether or not you're exercising can impact your hormones. There are a lot of factors that may impact how your bodies are processing your hormones. And so I want you to be aware of that. And awareness hopefully will lead to change. So I'm hoping that by the end of this video, we'll be able to learn and start to think about the things that we do in our lifestyle that could be impacting these hormones. When we think of weight loss, we're thinking of specific hormones that are linked with weight gain and weight changes. These hormones are very different from our sex hormones like our estrogens and progesterones, which also play a part. But I want to highlight these hormones while we're on this topic today. There's a hormone that is specifically linked with your weight called leptin. Leptin influences your appetite, and when you feel full or feel as though you don't want to eat anymore. This hormone is very important because if you have a lot of it, you may feel like you have a robust appetite, and if you don't have enough, you might have the opposite. Another hormone is insulin. Insulin is very important because insulin helps your body to use the carbohydrates that you take in your diet. Insulin is very important because if you do not have enough insulin or your body does not respond to the insulin that you make, all the carbohydrates that you eat, instead of it being used for energy, which is what your body prefers to do, these carbohydrates may stay in your circulatory system for a very long time or be stored as fat. And so if we're trying to lose weight, we're not trying to gain weight at the same time, right? That would just not be smart and wouldn't make sense. And so when we're trying to lose weight, we do not want to store excessive calories or carbohydrates at the same time. Insulin is the key to our bodies being able to use those carbohydrates for energy. Cortisol is another hormone that highly impacts weight gain and weight loss. If cortisol is high, oftentimes we think of cortisol as the fight or flight hormone. This hormone is important for our bodies being able to, in a short period of time, make changes for survival purposes. So if you need to run, we run, but then you're not running forever. And so if we're constantly stressed out, if our stress goes beyond a short period of time, our cortisol levels remain high for a long period of time. And if that happens, long term, that will slow down or influence the workings of your hormones internally. And so cortisol, in a short period of time, is a great hormone to have in excess, but it is bad when this becomes chronic. So now, if we are in a state where we're losing weight rapidly, and by rapidly, usually I think of losing more than 4 or 5 pounds in a month's time frame, more than about a pound per week. When we start losing weight so rapidly, what happens is that our leptin, for instance, starts to become in a yo-yo effect. And so what happens is that the leptin drops really low, your appetite gets really high, and you go back and forth, and your body goes into a struggle internally because it's trying to create a balance between all of these hormones that are rapidly changing. The problem here is that each hormone will respond to the other based on how high or low they are. And so you drop weight really quickly, your leptin goes up or down really quickly, and then now the other hormones are trying to catch up. What happens is that you go into a state of hormonal wreck where things are just constantly out of balance and your body doesn't know what to do. What happens with that is that you may often feel out of place. You feel as if something is wrong. You feel the changes of these hormonal changes because you are not at balance. And so what do? Well, the first thing that I would recommend is to slow down the weight loss. Regardless of whether or not this weight loss is happening because you're on medicines that help the weight loss to occur, or the weight loss is happening because you are now working with a trainer and you're working out really hard and the weight is falling off really, really quickly. Regardless of the cause, we want to slow down your weight loss and be somewhere around a pound of weight loss per week to be in a healthy state. At that rate, what we know is that your body is able to make the adjustments hormonally as the weight is coming off. Now, you may think, well, I started a weight loss program and in the first week, I lost 10 pounds. Is that bad? And I'm going to say no. And the reason is, at the start of any weight loss program, in that first couple of weeks where you lose a lot of weight, oftentimes this is water weight that is being lost and not true lowering of the fat cells that you have or the weight that you truly want to lose. This is water weight changes. So it's not a true change. And so because of that, after that first initial period where this initial drop happens, we want to then monitor the weight loss every week and every month following that. And so I would say leave and forget the first month of this transition. And then after the first month, continue to monitor your weight onwards as you continue your weight loss process. And if you find that you're still losing weight pretty rapidly, then we want to slow down. We want to make changes. We want to cut our dose of medicine if that's what we're taking, whatever it is. We want to slow down that process so that your hormones are not suffering because of the rapid weight loss that you're undergoing. It is also going to be beneficial to your organs, like your heart, for instance, where your heart will have more time to adjust to its new needs. We want to adjust when it comes to our kidneys so that they're able to process our blood flow well, and all the changes that happens with our electrolytes and all of the hormones that passes through there as well. And so while rapid weight loss may get us quickly to our number that we're thinking about for our weight, it may cause hormonal havoc. It may cause problems with your organs, and we want to limit that to the best of our ability. I also do want to mention that there are other symptoms that can happen because of rapid weight loss as well. Some of those may affect our bones and the density of them. And so as our bone density decreases, what happens is that we're more prone to having fractures or bone issues over time. And so research has always shown that those who are thinner are more likely to become osteoporotic. That means that your bone density has decreased to a degree where the inner strength of your bone is no longer there. And so thinner people tend to have more fractures and breaks, especially later on in life, than those who are not as thin. And so transitioning quickly with our weight can impact how strong your bones are. And once we lose bone strength, it is not easy for you to regain. Most people are not able to. And so we want to protect your body, protect your hormones, protect your bones, and everything in between. And so my tips to you today included making sure that we kind of step back a bit, depending on whether or not it's a training program or if we're taking medications, but really for you to be on top of the numbers on the scale and what's physically happening to your body. So write things down. Keep a track of everything, how you're feeling from week to week, what your numbers are like from week to week, but also do physical measurements as well. It's important that you measure your arms and your abdomen and your legs, just so you can track how your skin and your body is changing over time. And again, if you're seeing rapid changes, while you might be getting to your goals a little bit quicker, we might be hurting our system internally. So have conversations with your doctors as you go through your weight loss journey. Talk to them about the risks. Talk to them about how you're feeling so that you can be in control, but you can really guide your body through this journey well. I hope this was of help to you. Listen, if you're struggling with figuring out what will work well for you and for your hormones, if you're concerned about whether or not your hormones are in a good place, I have a hormone assessment that I'd like to offer you today, deeply discounted just for you for watching this video today. Click the link below this video and I'll send that information over to you. And within a few minutes, you'll be able to tell whether or not your body is hormonally imbalanced for where you are today. Thank you so much for listening in. If you have a question, please drop it beneath this video and I'll be happy to take a look and help you on your journey to become a more empowered you. I'm Dr. Perkins. Thank you for being here today.